This is Lisa from Mobile Tech Review, and this is the HTC Touch Pro for Verizon Wireless. This looks a lot like the Touch Pro that we've seen from Sprint, and even more so the Fuse on AT&T. It's got the same black body, the same slide-out keyboard, shiny black design, shows fingerprints like crazy. But if you take a look at the back, you'll see that it doesn't have the diamond faceted back like the Fuse, nor does it have the Sprint soft touch finish with the contrasting color. This is just plain shiny black. We do have the 3.2 megapixel camera back here with an LED flash. Up top here we have the power button. Nothing going on the side here except for the stylus, which pops out. Magnetically loaded, so it gets sucked back in. USB port on the bottom and a reset hole. And here are the volume buttons. A little bit hard to see since it's black on black. The front here has the usual Touch Pro and diamond controls. You've got call send, call end buttons, a back button, and the home button, which takes you back to the TouchFlow 3D launcher, no matter where you are previously. Let's take a quick look at the keyboard. It's not really the same as the Sprint or the Fuse. We have the number row up here, just like the Sprint version, but the keyboard is wider. In fact, this device is actually taller in this direction here than the Fuse is. Unfortunately, the keys lack travel and tactile feedback compared to the Touch Pro on Sprint or the Fuse or the unlocked GSM version, which is kind of strange. You think they'd all be the same in that respect, but there's hardly any movement or click to be felt. It's worse than the Sony Ericsson Xperia, which is known to be one of those low-travel kind of phones. Maybe Verizon was trying to get this just a little bit thinner, and that's the price they had to pay, because to get these two halves of the clamshell tight, you can't have much key travel. And this is the tightest one. In terms of build quality, that part's nice. The Sprint one was a little bit loosey-goosey. The Fuse had some play in it, and this one fits together very, very tightly. For a size comparison, we'll first take a look at the Touch Pro and Verizon, which is in the right here, with the HTC Touch Diamond. This is the unlocked GSM version. This is the one that kind of started it all for TouchFlow 3D devices. This one does not have the slide-out keyboard. This is like the Diamond on Sprint, except for it has the original diamond faceted back. And you can see that in terms of thickness, the Verizon one is thicker to accommodate the keyboard, but it's not really a super fatty either. This one looks a little bit thinner because of the facets that cut off on the corners. And compared to the Omnia, Verizon's other flagship Windows mobile phone, again, this one doesn't have the keyboard, just a slate design with on-screen QWERTY, but it's bigger in terms of height and width. So, again, it's thinner because it doesn't have that keyboard. So the Touch Pro on Verizon runs TouchFlow 3D user interface, just like the Diamond and the Touch Pro and the Fuse on others. And this gives you a variety of handy today screen panels, basically, that access applications. It's fast. You can see switching through here, which is nice. Not much of a lag. So you got your wireless network settings over here. HTC's beautiful weather, which downloads information over the data connection or over Wi-Fi. You can have a variety of cities listed here in the US and across the world. Program Launcher comes pre-populated with Verizon's VZ Navigator, their online application store program, calculator, and you can add your own things here. You just simply hit the plus sign and then just pick an application from the list. And there it is. There's a camera interface, which is also a image viewer. These are stock images that come with the phone that are loaded now. You can flip through with your finger. If you want to use the camera, just touch the camera button. If you want to take a video, hit the little video button. Here's the internet browser, which is Opera 9.5 mobile, just like the other TouchFlow 3D phones, and also like the Omnia. It's a wonderful browser. It's not quite as good as Safari on the iPhone, but it's very impressive, especially in conjunction with the VGA display here. Unfortunately, there is no YouTube player here. And HTC's streaming media player is also missing. Now in the AT&T Fuse, they hid the YouTube player, but it actually was still there. You could find it with the file manager and use it. And HTC's streaming media player was still there. They're whacked from this device. You can add them back on with a little hacking if you search online to get a couple of cab files, but for the casual user, that's probably more than you can expect. Your email window over here, if you have email accounts set up, they'll show up. And here's music. It's searching for the first time for music, and you've got your album covers here, and these are the pre-installed sample tunes. So you can flip through those, hit the play button, and switch around and do other things, and this will keep playing in the background till you silence it. We have the SMS text messaging screen over here. You can see threaded conversations if you happen to have any. If you tap on that, you can create a new message. And this is the standard Windows Mobile interface for creating a SMS or MMS message. This is your people screen, or a speed dial. If you want to add somebody, you just hit the plus and pick somebody from your address book. We really don't have anybody in here yet, but you could just tap like that, and then you can assign a picture to the person or entity. I'll just pick a sample picture there. And voila. And then back to the home screen, which has the giant clock on it. Shortcut to call history. It'll show you missed calls. That's very useful. Your calendar, and if you have any appointments, they'll show up listed under here. So there's much of the functionality of a standard Windows Mobile Today screen. If you don't like TouchFlow 3D, you can turn it off. It's just a Today screen setting, and you can have a vanilla Windows Mobile interface. The device does have an accelerometer, however, nothing's going to happen when you're in TouchFlow 3D, since the screens don't support it. And even if we go into some place like the Windows Mobile Programs group, it does not seem to be rotating. However, it does come with a cool teeter game that's like Labyrinth, and that does use the accelerometer. Verizon gives us VZ Navigator, the GPS program here. The device is locked down, the GPS is locked down rather, to only work with VZ Navigator. So if you want to use Google Maps or some third-party mapping application, it's not going to do that out of the box. VZ Navigator is a pretty good mapping and navigation application. It gives you turn-by-turn spoken directions, POIs, and all that good stuff. It costs about $9.95 a month. So we'll see if we can get a GPS fix. We're right near a window here, but we are indoors. So this is VZ Navigator in map view. If you want to zoom, hit the zoom button. And select your zoom level. Downloads over the data connection. We don't have the best Verizon signal here, but it's doing alright. We did turn Wi-Fi on, but Wi-Fi is weak on this device, and we're finding that something over 25 feet can be a challenge for if you're that far from the router. And you can drag the maps around, and it downloads the additional map area. We have 2 out of 4 bars coverage. Next we'll take a look at Opera. By default, Verizon's portal is the start page. Alright, so here we are. We've loaded our home page. Speed was pretty good. Gives you a page overview mode. Even though this is a VGA display, you're not going to be able to read this text. But you can either use this to zoom in and out, or you can just tap twice on the screen, and then you can drag around and read whatever it is you want to read, and tap on a link to follow it. You really can't tap on a link unless you do zoom in first. So we'll take a look at our Xperia review. Pretty nice browser. Can even show ads. So here we're on the YouTube mobile site. This is m.youtube.com, really geared towards feature phones or lower-end cell phones. But we won't be able to actually watch a video here because HTC's streaming media player is missing. And this relies on Windows Media Player Mobile, which lacks the proper video codecs to actually play the video, unfortunately.